Imagine walking into a room and everyone notices you before you even say a word. Not because you're loud, not because you're showing off, but because your presence feels charged. It's that strange tension when a man carries something rare, something most people can't name. People feel it, some respect it, some envy it, some fear it. What if that quiet force could be cultivated? What if it wasn't luck, but energy mastery? By the way, we've got a small Telegram community where we dive deeper into ideas like this. It's not huge, but it's real, and the link's in the description if you want to be part of it. I used to think confidence came from what I owned, what I achieved, or who validated me. But I learned the hard way that none of that creates true self-belief, the kind that doesn't waver when things fall apart. What creates it is inner containment, and semen retention is one of the rare disciplines that forces that containment into being. It's not just abstaining from release. That's the surface layer. It's about retraining your nervous system to stop leaking energy through constant cravings. It's about learning to sit with tension without immediately relieving it. That tension is power. It's like compressing a spring instead of letting it snap. The longer you contain it, the more potential energy you build. And that energy starts changing how you move, talk, and think. There's this moment when you start realizing you don't need to prove anything. You're grounded. Your voice changes. People's eyes linger longer on you, but you don't chase their gaze anymore. That's the beginning of the aura. It's not some mystical glow. It's physiological calm mixed with emotional intensity. When you retain, your body starts optimizing. Testosterone rises. Dopamine levels. Balance. Focus sharpens, but something even deeper happens. You begin to trust yourself. That trust is the root of unshakable self-belief. Every time you resist the impulse to give in, you're reaffirming a truth. You are in control. Let's pause here. If you're finding this valuable, you can support the channel with the thanks button below. Even small contributions really help us keep creating this kind of content. When you practice semen retention long enough, something strange happens. You stop chasing stimulation in other areas of your life too. Junk food loses its appeal. Gossip feels empty. You crave? Meaning, you start investing that same energy into your body, your mind, your craft. The energy doesn't disappear. It transforms. Think of energy like currency. You can spend it on instant gratification, or you can invest it into long-term growth. The man who invests builds an inner economy that compounds. Retention is not about suppression. It's about redirection. You take what could have been wasted and channel it into creating, building, learning, leading. At first, it's uncomfortable. You feel restless. You feel like something inside you wants to explode. That's the old pattern screaming to be fed. But when you hold steady, your nervous system adjusts. You learn how to transmute that fire into presence. That's when the aura becomes visible. People often ask, why does retention make others notice you more? Because people feel coherent energy. Most men are fragmented. They're drained, overstimulated, constantly consuming. When someone walks in with all their energy contained and directed, it's a shock to the environment. You don't even have to talk about it. You embody it. It's the same principle that makes great athletes, artists, and leaders magnetic. They have disciplined energy. You can sense it in their stillness. It's not arrogance, it's certainty. And that certainty is what draws people in. But there's a hidden challenge. Retention amplifies whatever's already inside you. If you carry resentment or anger, it'll intensify. If you carry purpose and vision, those will expand instead. That's why retention must be paired with inner work. Meditation, reflection, physical training. Otherwise, you're just bottling chaos. Here's a quick visualization that always helps me explain this. Picture a laser. It's just light, the same kind that comes from a bulb. The difference is focus. A bulb spreads its energy everywhere. A laser channels it into one tight, coherent beam, strong enough to cut through steel. Your energy works the same way. Retention turns you from a bulb into a laser. And here's where the science lines up with the philosophy. Studies show that when men retain, testosterone can rise significantly in the short term. More importantly, dopamine receptors reset, making you more sensitive to real-life rewards. instead of digital or superficial ones. Your motivation returns because your brain starts valuing effort again. But data alone doesn't tell the whole story. The real transformation is psychological. Every time you say no to instant pleasure, you're building identity capital. You start to see yourself as someone capable of discipline. And when that identity takes hold, self-belief stops being a concept. It becomes a lived truth. That's when you start walking differently. You stop asking for permission. You stop over-explaining. Your eyes meet the world with calm authority. You speak slower because you're not rushing to fill silence. Silence becomes your ally. The aura of retention isn't just sexual energy. It's self-trust made visible. It's the glow of a man who has tamed his impulses and redirected them into purpose. And it's magnetic because it's so rare. In a world where everyone is chasing, a man who doesn't chase becomes a gravitational field. There's something deeply spiritual about it too, across ancient traditions from Taoism to Brahmachari. Energy conservation has been tied to enlightenment, creativity, and strength. These teachings weren't about repression, but transformation. They understood that sexual energy is creative energy. The same force that creates life can also create art, vision, and legacy when harnessed correctly. Most men never realize this because they never give themselves enough stillness to feel it. They drain the energy before it can mature. But if you stay patient, you'll notice something almost mystical. Ideas start coming faster. Work becomes more satisfying. People start responding differently. You feel aligned, not scattered. Here's the catch though. Retention without purpose leads to frustration. You need a mission to direct that power toward, whether it's building a business, training your body, mastering a skill, or contributing to others. Purpose gives your energy a target. Without one, you'll implode. With one, you'll radiate. Think about historical figures who carried immense presence. They weren't necessarily the loudest or the most charismatic, but their energy was undeniable. They operated from inner conviction, not external validation. That's what semen retention builds. Conviction born from restraint. And here's a truth most won't tell you. The aura isn't about perfection. You'll have relapses. You'll slip. Everyone knows the key is how you respond. Do you drown in guilt, or do you learn and recommit? Every time you get back up, your self-belief deepens. Because belief isn't about never falling. It's about trusting your capacity to rise. The journey isn't linear. So may thus say you. You'll feel powerful. Some days empty. But over time the baseline shifts. Your old cravings lose their hold. You stop being reactive. Life stops pushing you around because you've built inner gravity. And that's the real aura. Not mystical, not imagined, but earned. People can feel when a man owns himself. It's the way your energy fills the space, the way you make decisions, the way you stay grounded when everyone else panics. There's something quietly revolutionary about living this way. In a world built on instant gratification, choosing restraint is rebellion. You stop being a consumer of life and start being a creator of it. That shift changes everything. When I first started this journey, I thought I was just experimenting with self. I had no idea it would change how I saw everything: my relationships, my work, my ambitions. It wasn't about denying pleasure. It was about discovering a deeper one. The pleasure of mastery. That's the paradox of semen retention. It gives back everything it asks for, multiplied. You sacrifice one kind of pleasure for a higher kind of power, and that power radiates without you having to announce it. The longer you stay consistent, the more others start to notice. Not because you tell them what you're doing, but because your energy speaks first. Your words hit deeper. Your presence carries weight. You don't need to say much, because you've become the message. If you've been on this path or you're thinking of starting, remember this. It's not a competition. It's a communion with yourself. Everyone's timeline is different. Some feel the effects in a week, others after months. What matters is commitment. Because every day you stay aligned, the aura grows stronger. And as it grows, life starts to rearrange around you. Opportunities align. People who match your energy appear. Chaos starts fading because your vibration becomes order. You're no longer reacting to life. You're orchestrating it. If this message resonates with you, Hitting the thanks button genuinely makes a difference. It keeps the channel independent and the ideas flowing. I appreciate every one of you who supports this mission to build men of depth and discipline. Before we end, remember Semen, retention is not about escaping desire. It's about mastering it. It's the art of turning fire into light. The more you refine that process, the more your aura becomes unbreakable. And that's the essence of unshakable self-belief. It's not built overnight. It's earned through quiet choices, unseen battles, and the courage to stay still when everything around you screams for release. So, keep building your aura. Keep refining your energy. Walk into every room like you belong there, not because of arrogance, but because your energy speaks for itself. And if you ever want to go deeper, join our Telegram community. It's small, real, and filled with people walking this same path. You'll find insight, discipline, and the support to keep growing. This is your time. The world doesn't need more noise. It needs men who radiate stillness, purpose, and belief. You already have that power inside you. Retention just helps you remember it. If this spoke to you, take a second to hit like. Drop a comment with how this journey has been for you. And if you want to support the channel, the thanks button below really helps keep this message alive. Remember, your energy is sacred. Protect it, refine it, and let it speak louder than words.